era, the rocks of God, early in the last winter of the second Christian millennium. Their imposing, magnificent presence, unique on the Earth's surface, seems to mark the soul's advance to heaven. Flowing between the grey, fissured rocks, like the rustle of a supernatural wind, are the prayers of saints, revealing the strength man possesses through his faith, enabling him to build churches linking earth with heaven. This geological phenomenon of rocks, whose almost vertical height sometimes reaches 400 meters, has not yet been scientifically explained. The awestruck visitor stands in ecstasy before these giant stones, searching for answers to the great questions they pose. Some scientists attribute the rock's structure to erosion, which acquired their final form about 60 million years ago. Others consider them to be deltoid, in other words, the product of a river delta. If this is so, then the region of the Metaera was once the delta of a river, which, during the Pliocene era, when today's Thessalian plain was a vast lake, carried sand, mud, pebbles, shingle, and other material to this area, and then out to sea. Perhaps later, because of a rare natural occurrence, some of these materials welded together and formed a vast cone, which split into hills and rocks of various shapes when the water eventually subsided. Yet other experts believe that the present shape of the Metaera rocks is due to the effects of erosion caused by wind. However, whatever the explanation of the origins of the Metaera stone forest, a unique natural phenomenon, the monasteries that spring up from rocky peaks, like the centers of stone flowers, transform awe into religious devotion and admiration into prayer. According to monastic tradition, the first ascetic, or hermit of the Metaera, in 985, was the anchorite Varnavas, who founded the small skeet, or hermitage, of the Holy Spirit, nestled in the hills above the village of Kastraiki. During the 11th century, other ascetics followed in the virtuous hermit's footsteps. Their concern about the afterlife and their intuitive sense that the sanctity of the site made it an ideal arena for the struggle to earn a place in heaven helped them to dedicate their lives here to the salvation of their souls. For them, the path leading to the peaks of the precipitous rocks was divinely charted. With admirable patience, they carved out tiny cells in the rocks and small rudimentary chapels, prayer nooks, where they might kneel day and night and pray to God. Thus began the organization of the first community of anchorites, who lived in hermitages on the bare rocks, which only vultures and eagles could reach. In his imagination, the traveler journeys back in time, seeking the chastened figures, living in the cells, keeping company with the birds, the sky, and the wind. All day long, summer and winter, they gaze at the horizon, rejoicing and marveling at the Almighty's works, praying for the redemption of souls. They survive on bread, wild honey, cheese and milk from the livestock grazing at the foot of the rocks.